This is Harvey Dent here. The following is an interview we did with Jay Corbet, who's a liaison for several third-party companies back at TFCon Charlotte. It's taken me a while to get this video up, or at least the audio up, just because just didn't have the right things to work with at the time. But hopefully you guys enjoy it. Yeah, so take a look, get some insider information that not many other people have at the moment. So enjoy.
So I'm not gonna ask your name because I don't know if you want to give that out.
That's fine.
But so you.
Everyone just calls me Jay.
Okay, Jay. Nice to meet you. I'm George. JRuze on Instagram. That's
R.O.C. Acemilo.
Acemilo, and this is Dan. Hashtag underscore whatever Dent.
Thunder Thief.
So what companies? Okay, first, what company do you work for?
Well, I started off by working for Corbet.
Okay.
Then I took on MMC. I've also worked with Mech Ideas. Now I'm working with the new group Voodoo, and I'm also I know the guys for Make Toys and Fans Project Core, and I also know the Fans Project guys as well.
Okay.
So is Voodoo related to MMC?
No, Voodoo is, I can 100% say Voodoo is a 100% new company. The guy's name is Jim, I believe is Jim Lee. Yes.
Stop drawing Batman and start making toys.
Yeah. I've only met him once, and I'm horrible with names. I got to meet people a couple of times, but no, he's a nice guy. He's based out of Asia, but he's looking to move over here and get into the third-party game, and this was his first attempt.
Okay. So, third party in terms of designing or creating, manufacturing, or just representing?
I think he's just the money man. I think he had an idea, and cause I'm not even sure who designed it. I just know that he came over, he wanted to get things done, and since he knew some of the guys who I knew, he just asked me to help start repping them.
Okay, cool.
But it's only at the shows. Like, I'm not doing any of their social media or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just the face of the show, unfortunately.
So you know a lot of the insider secrets, which I'm not going to ask you in detail much stuff, but one of the things we saw down there was that Ravage, that cassette Ravage light. How would you describe the Ravage?
Life-size cassette.
Okay, so basically that's the new MMC line remix. It got debuted here at the show, and basically it's basically the best way to describe it is think of it as oversized MP. But it's partially die-cast, and it's a perfect transformation. So just like the what you've seen from the original MP series, like all the weapons fold in. But the joints on it, like you can actually have it basically him licking a paw. Like the articulation level is just straight up bananas.
So I saw a demonstration, and that's pretty cool. The way the robot mode works is when you, instead of using like a ball jointed neck or like ratcheted shoulders or elbows or whatever, it actually twists, the whole body twists like if it was some kind of musculature to pose, and I thought it was pretty cool engineering.
That was the whole purpose of it, was actually to make it seem like very organic and like have that muscular effect. Like they wanted to, basically what they wanted to do with this line is make it more playable. Like, because a lot of people like the toys, but they display it. They wanted you to have something that you want to constantly be reposing, you constantly want to be fidgeting and playing with, and just being like, damn, this is cool.
Yeah, I agree. It does look really cool the way it plays. I'm a big photographer, and articulation is a really big deal for me when it comes to these figures. So I actually really like that. So you can pass that on. The big deal.
Well, I'm just hoping we do an exclusive of it, so I get to talk about it more.
Nice. So what other figures are you involved with? So
What about, is there anything else in that line?
The Mastermind Creations?
There are more things coming out. It's not going to just be a one-off thing. They told me that there's 3 more things in the pipe that I haven't even seen yet, but everyone, the first question they're asking, is there going to be a sound wave to go with it? I personally think there's going to be, but they haven't confirmed it.
Mm-hmm.
But right now it's just what they have said is that they want to do all the tapes eventually.
Okay, so
They've always said tapes.
all the tapes are.
But
Autobots too?
didn't hear anything about that. But it was kind of an open-ended statement that once I know more, I'm sure it'll be leaked out. But for right now, I think it's mainly Decepticons is what they're focusing on because, well, everyone loves Decepticons.
Everybody does love. I can't imagine what a Rumble or a Frenzy.
Yeah,
The
would
perfect
look like
transformation
with
with the
a
pile drivers?
Yeah.
like, and plus we all gotta admit, like, the Decepticon tapes are way better than the Autobot tapes.
Oh yeah. I mean they've been around since season 1,
I wanna say
episode
overkill.
1. You know.
But what I will say is, when I did talk to them, they haven't confirmed it, but they are not opposed to doing the combiner tapes.
Okay.
Okay.
East
They're
Coast.
not. They haven't confirmed, but they're not opposed to it.
All right.
Which I think is good because I think they're really looking to push the boundaries of what people can expect and will get from this line.
Nice. So you're involved with, obviously that's MMC. So let's talk a little bit more about MMC. What's going on with their other figures that they're teasing, like the
Studio X stuff?
the Impactor.
That should be out soon, no?
Well, that should all be out soon. Basically, the reason why a lot of the stuff gets delayed is there are a couple of owners based for the company, and basically they all get the toys and they play with it and stuff like that. And if they have any concerns, they have like what I found out is like sort of like an inner circle of friends who they go to and they let them play with it. And if there's any QC issues, they will delay it due to, because as everyone knew, there was a few QC issues with the original Feral Rex run.
Yep.
And the fact that everyone supported them still through that and them sending out the extra parts, now they rather delay a line and get it right the first time off than having to send out parts. Naturally, if something happens, they'll send out replacements, but their new motto is basically they want to get it right the first time, and if it means they have to delay something by a few months, at least then they know you're getting that proper product because you're spending a lot of money on it, and they don't want you to be pissed off and have to wait for a replacement.
And that's something that a couple of other companies do, like Fans Toys. I don't know if you deal with them, but they don't put out a figure until it's almost perfect. And there's been a couple QC issues, but I personally really appreciated with Feral Rex how they did send out the replacement parts later on.
Even the upgrade parts came with...
And even like some of the issues, I didn't even know there were issues when I was playing with mine until people pointed out there were some issues, with Bovis. I think there was a couple.
The butt flap
and
would crack on some.
And then the other one as well. I think the hooves were on backwards or something.
No, they're a different color. They weren't color. People wanted a different color.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they added those with the hell was his name?
The cat.
The last one, Catilla.
Catilla. So
And Catilla was actually an interesting concept by them as well.
An Autobot for a Decepticon, dude.
Yeah, like the whole idea was kind of like he was the original member, and when the rest of them kind of went dark, he split off and did his own thing.
I think Catilla is my favorite one of all of them, to be honest. And not only because he's an Autobot, but the color schemes is really striking because it's primarily yellow.
I was amazed that they were able to get it all six of them to form it and not become too heavy and actually maintain the stability.
Absolutely.
Like, I think it's a pretty damn posable toy for the size of it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for me, when I was repping it at the shows when they first started releasing the characters, the thing that got everyone to buy it was the ratcheted joints.
Yeah.
Like, if you're an old school 80s kid, you just remember those clicking of your original Transformers, and that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to bring back your childhood with that toy line, and I think they did.
I think they absolutely hit the nail right in the head. So what other companies we were talking about? Fans Project, right?
Well, I know them. Like, I don't work with them, but I've known them for quite some time. I got to see some of the stuff before it comes out, like Mocky Toys. I got to see Green Giant almost a year before it came out.
So you've been with them that long, huh?
I've known them for quite some time. They're another group that they care about their quality.
Yeah. So share the secret with it. How many of these designers are actually American as opposed to Chinese or Japanese, or Asian? Because I'm gonna be honest, I think a lot of the primary fans are American fans, and they're the ones who kind of push for these.
I know MMC uses Vengsta a lot.
Third party. I'm just curious out of my
Well,
curiosity.
Vengsta has done a lot of stuff. but he's in the process of rebranding himself, so I can't talk too much about him
Okay.
right now until he's done. But what I can say is he's done a lot of stuff for like Impossible Toys, like if you remember the Tetris Seekers, those pieces of shit, and
They weren't bad in alt mode.
and then the Alicon. I'll just go on record by saying Impossible Toys just completely messed it up. They went against the original designs and cheaped out, and I'm actually the person who wrote the story for all of them.
Okay.
So I was actually part of Impossible as well, and the only thing I can say about that company is good riddance, because they just didn't get it.
Uh-huh. So a company like Impossible Toys, who it's probably like a couple of bad eggs, right? So some of you guys split off and then start working or representing other third parties, right?
Yeah, and I think that's what's killing third party right now, is that anyone with a 3D printer thinks they can get into the game, but not everyone. And it's like a lot of companies seem like they just come out, they want to make that one project, try to make their money and get out, but it makes it so hard on the people who've been in the game for so long and trying to maintain that quality, because a lot of fans are they just look at that bottom dollar.
Yep.
And they'll go for that cheaper product, and then they're turned, and it ruins their experience for wanting to get into the proper third party. So that's where a lot of groups do indirectly work together, trying to like keep that quality up.
Mm-hmm. So you do any work with KFC or Unique Toys or nothing?
No.
Okay.
I will say KFC, I'm impressed with the quality of their toys now compared to Citizen Stack.
I think we're all
I think everybody.
in an agreement with that. You know,
Junkie on.
the Junkions, the new reflector coming out.
I didn't have much hope for that company, but I gotta say I'm really impressed with how they turned it around.
Like TFC.
Yeah, I'm amazed. I give credit where credit's due, and they impressed the hell out of me.
Yeah, I agree. And like this war that's going on with all the different brands of the same character. So like Reflector, there you could say something good about every single Reflector that's out, and I actually think the KFC silhouette looks the best. Fans Toys probably going to be made the best, and Bad Cube is going to be the best value with the 3-pack.
Monkey Toys.
Oh, did I say Reflect? I'm thinking.
You said Bad Cube.
I'm going in.
You going
I'm going
with
to the
Insecticons?
Insecticons. See, it's so many different wars going on, and then
That's
Market
MMC.
make Toys. You know, with their Reflector, they have the best transformation, I believe, because they hide
No parts for
no
it.
parts for them. And they hide all the bits in it. You know, so you got an in with Make Toys. You know what's going on with them and Fans Project with their obviously their little separation of the same company, and they're basically two separate entities, and now Make Toys jumping into the Headmasters and Master Series game.
Honestly, I don't know much about it. Like I get to see things a bit early, but other than that, I don't really deal with them that much. Like other than at shows now, just because, like a lot of people don't know, but for a third party, like Fans Project started in Canada.
Yep.
So a lot of people don't know like the whole entire industry came from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Now a lot of it's all been shifted over to Asia, just because that's where a lot of the factories are and that's where a lot of people live now. But a lot of people don't know that interesting fact that it all came from our humble little country.
So I actually had an idea, and I think I brought this up to Ace and to other people. A lot of the Fans Project exclusive stuff ships from Washington. So I was just curious if there was like, if Canada, Washington, if there was some kind of office there.
And you know what, it's entirely possible. Just because I also know a lot of groups use the same warehouses, just because there's like companies out there that now just cater to them for warehouse services. So that could actually just be one of those services.
Okay. So, is there any upcoming projects you wanted to talk about?
Well, there's the new stuff coming out from Corbett. As you noticed, there's the name hasn't been finalized yet, but there's the Legends class Alicon figure.
Okay.
It's to scale right now. It was partially designed by Banksta, which I can say, and it was also designed by Jesselyn, who I believe her online name is Weewoo. She's been doing a lot of the work for Mastermind Creations, Corbett. She's going to be probably doing some work with Voodoo soon.
Mm-hmm.
She's been doing this for about a year. About a year ago, she came out of nowhere where she did an Orion head with Banksta for for the Orion figure from Toy World, which was sold through Toy Dojo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And that was like their first collaboration. And from that head, she got the attention of MMC, and then she did a lot of the work for the new Inferno from MMC.
Okay.
So yeah, she's going to be, I think, one of the more dominant designers for third party.
That's awesome. Because I did see that Studio Ox MMC Inferno down in the display case. It looks really, really good. So, you saw it, right, Ace?
Yeah.
You like that? Yeah.
And then for
Corbet's always look good too.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
then Corbot's going to be announcing 2 more characters, hopefully in December. What I can say about them
Are they going to be related to the Alicon?
No.
Oh.
What they will be related to is it's going to be some more. They're going to tie into the Combiner War series.
Okay.
They're going to fill some gaps that need to be filled.
Okay. Ace's mind is reeling right now.
One of them is going to be. Only thing I can drop is that it's going to be probably an army builder that people are going to want a lot of. And the other one, people are just going to go, really? You did that? And hopefully buy it.
Wow. Okay.
They're gonna know what
That's a big teaser.
So they're getting experimental then.
Yes.
So with the Alicon and Legends scale, and then going on to something lower. So is it going to continue in the Legends scale, or is it going to go a little more deluxe size? Or?
The next one is going to be Deluxe, and the final one is going to be Voyager.
Okay.
So Army Building Deluxe figure.
Yes.
What's an Army Building Deluxe figure, Ace?
I was thinking it's the mini-cons.
Mini.
One MCI. The Mennonites, whatever the hell they are. The mining ones?
It's not
Well,
deluxe size.
Hasbro did that though.
That's fuck. It's not.
Army Building, huh? I'm trying to think Army Building. I guess I can't, because if it's related to Combiner Wars.
And
I'm not gonna ask him because I know he can't.
I can't say if I say.
I'm sure we'll figure it out later.
Yeah, there'll probably be a tease.
20 minutes of sleep. I'm not on my A game.
No, but once it's announced, everyone's gonna be like, "Why didn't someone else do it?" But what I will say is, one of the things that Corbot has made a commitment to doing is, where you see all these companies where you have like 3 or 4 Dinobots, you got like all these kind of Devastators. Everything they want to do is going to be kind of like, there's going to be a gimmick to every toy they do that's going to set them apart from everyone else. And they don't want to do anything that anyone else is doing. They don't want to fight the market for anything.
That's
MMC,
smart. No,
Yeah.
Corbot.
Okay.
So basically, they've heard from like vendors how it's kind of killing them, like having to carry like multiple of same characters from different companies. So they're trying to do something like that, and they're also looking at eventually if they can do it, they'd like to maybe do some kind of, for brick and mortar stores, like doing some kind of pre-order exclusive for them. So that way, just to keep the brick and mortar stores going, so that we don't become a completely online.
So how many brick and mortar stores are we talking? Like Toy Dojo, ages 3 and up. How many have actual?
Yeah, there's not a lot out there, so
Yeah.
it's not a very hard thing to do.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good, because you know what? I'm sure like digital comics are killing comic book stores now. You know, online retailers are killing store retailers.
Everything.
You know, Amazon's killing Walmart.
Walmart,
You know,
Target.
Netflix
you know,
killed Blockbuster. And all
Netflix is, you know. So
Are they going to be using somebody's factory? Corbot? Or are they going to do their own?
Oh, the factory they're using is
This is the first time they're doing actual figures instead of upgrades, right?
yeah.
that's what my next question was, right?
The factory's based in Asia as far as I know, because that's where the owners are.
Okay.
And like even for me, the most common thing is like I think I told Dan this story when I met him. A lot of people think I'm Corbot because of my last name.
Mhm.
When my friends recommended me to them as the rep, they didn't think I'd catch on, and I didn't until after people started asking me, because my last name is so similar to theirs.
Mhm.
And when they first did it, there was 5 of them, so that's where the V came in. And Corbot was basically, since they were only ever going to do upgrade kits, their model was going to be, we're upgrading your core bot.
Mhm.
But unfortunately English wasn't, I guess, their best thing, so they forgot the E in Corbett, and so then they hired me on, and then people are like, look, who know my last, are you them? And I'm like, no, and then they finally came clean. That's why we chose you, just to take some pressure off of them.
Nice.
And it only took me a year to figure this out. So, you know, I might be a good promoter, but apparently I'm not the quickest person.
So the Alicon is their first full-blown transforming figure?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going to start Legend, they're going to move up to a next size level up, and then they're going to move up to another size level.
And then I don't even know what you would call their fourth one that they're working on, but again, the gimmicks. I think the gimmicks is what's gonna. They're not looking to be like an MMC or a fans project. They're just looking to basically become that company that will do like small runs, like nothing too huge, but just become. They want to make it so that they are something that you pre-order and that you won't think twice about. They just want to be, we buy you.
Nice.
And by trying to keep their price points good, they're hoping like, what I can say is Alicon, the price point they're looking at right now is hopefully $30, and they've made a commitment that they don't want to go over $35 for it.
That's not a bad price for a Legend.
Yeah, it's army building.
Yeah, and that's why they wanted to keep it cheaper. Because originally they were going to do it as a 2-pack, but then they chose not to do that just because not everyone wants a 2-pack. So this way, by hopefully making it a cheaper price, people could still buy 2, and because they were trying to save on the packaging at first. But then when they talked to me about it, I actually suggested go single just because you don't want to force people to buy 2.
Yeah.
And I think it would actually equal more sales for them in the long run.
I think so
Yeah.
too. If you
Throw
want to army
in the
builder,
smallest clamshell you can in the cheapest box.
Pretty
They go in
much.
the trash anyway.
yeah.
And if it doesn't do well because of me saying that, well then this time next year you might have a new rep talking for them.
And you just go rep somewhere else, right?
Well, yeah, well it's like Voodoo. Like coming out of the gate for such a small company, I gotta say, they're doing all the right things. Like everything they've done, like from the ratcheted joints. Like the only thing that I think that they could have done is add a bit more, get that die cast in there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
a little
But-
on the light side.
But other than that, like the transformation is it's unique, it's complicated, but it's not like Bayformer complicated. Like it's still enjoyable. You don't need to like step away for 30 minutes, have a drink to calm yourself down to try transforming it.
I'm gonna say honestly, I think the weight is really good for a fully plastic figure. You know,
Yes.
so it's thick, durable plastic. You compare it to the weight of a actual Takara masterpiece, and it's probably heavier than one of those. You know, so the quality of the plastic is solid and thick and gonna be good. You know, I think it's unanimous here that Voodoo won the aesthetic war
Yeah.
between
easily.
between the 3 Ironhides coming out. You know, so they have a really good design. I mean, if you can beat Takara at their own game, I think you're a winner when you're talking aesthetics. You know. The only thing I personally don't like is the face sculpt compared to, say, I think Takara has the best face sculpt, obviously, because that's their main focus, to be G1 cartoon accurate. But otherwise, you know, that fucking Voodoo Toys is a really good looking figure.
It's amazing, and doing the Diaclone one for an exclusive, and the exclusive is $125. I believe the retail is gonna be $120 for them. So like that's one of the cheapest exclusives out there, and I think it was smart for them to get that exclusive out before the fall release because it gave people a chance to see what the final quality is going to be.
Dip
And
their
that's
toes
ex-
in the water.
And that's exactly what I
That's
said.
what all of it.
Hey, all of us said,
All of us
hey,
did.
let's buy this Diaclone figure. Let's check out to see how good this figure is, so that we can get excited for let's buy the black one so we can see what the red one's going to be like, you know. And I think it's awesome that they brought it out at a TFCon in the United States. It's fully. I'm sure this place is packed right now. you
Oh
know?
yeah, like at first they weren't entirely sure if they wanted to do it because they thought they might get some bad feedback from bringing out an exclusive before the first full figure. But I'm like, I think it's going to be a good idea because you're not committing to that much, and it's going to let people see
It
the
happens,
quality.
just not a lot of companies do it.
Yeah, and I thought it was a bold move, and it shows that they want to be in the industry, and it just shows their quality. Like, I don't know if they got some ideas that they want to work on next, but right now they just want to focus on finishing these lines out, and just maybe step back a bit because this has been in the works for about a year now. So I think once everything's released, they're gonna probably like head off to Mexico for.
Cerveza.
So they got so you're talking about just the 3 vans, right? So
Yeah.
they don't have a second design, a second figure.
They have something that, from what I've understood, that they want to consider at this time, but right now they just want to.
They just want to get these out, be
Yeah.
done, take a break, be like celebrate, go and fucking.
Well, it was like for Korbach, they wanted to announce the next 2 figures that I can't really talk about right now,
Mhm.
but I told them like the fact that Alicon was announced so long ago. Should stop calling it that until they figure out a damn name, but
Not
Alligator bot.
not Alicon. They were going to announce the next 2 figures today, but I said, let's, like, ask the promoter, I'm like, we haven't even gotten this one out, it's been delayed by a few months, let's get the first Alicon out, let's show what you guys are working on, then announce, because you don't want to have all these things announced and not even have, like, your first prototype out, because then you just become that company that's showing a lot of shit and not doing anything, and considering they based their whole reputation off of like 6 colors off of 1 axe, that I gotta say they've milked the shit out of that, and they've done a beautiful job of it. But to go from that axe to this, I think they need to wade into the pool a little slower.
Mhm.
Like, I understand the excitement of doing the full figures, but I think it would have been irresponsible of them to announce everything and not.
Yeah.
No,
You gotta
yeah,
let people
that
get their hands on some other stuff first, much like what Voodoo's doing here, allowing you to get your hands on it, just before the guys come out, so you're like, okay, this is a serious.
And I agree with that. I mean, the biggest issue I have with third party lately, and I'm gonna say MMC is the biggest culprit of it, is they tease stuff so
Shockwave.
far in advance.
Shockwave.
They 3 years ago they teased a chug size Shockwave and that never came out, and got a lot of people excited. I was personally excited because I want a chug size Shockwave.
Yeah, it's because I like to do, like, I don't know personally, but it seems like they like to do like April Fool's jokes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would be I wouldn't take too much stock on anything announced on like April 1st.
Yeah.
So,
But
but
then
then
need more coins not coming out. The door frame size unicorn. You're saying he's not coming then?
Oh, you know what? There were things that they showed off at this show today that I'm usually in the loop with them because I know them pretty well. Like, I know the marketing guy like really well, and there's stuff showed off today that I didn't even know about. I'm like, wow, guys! Like, so even now they still keep a few things close to the chest.
Mhm.
But I gotta say, like, look, between the remix and all the new stuff they're doing, I think they're definitely elevating the third party game. Like, I think within the next few years you're gonna start seeing a lot of the smaller companies starting to die off who won't be able to compete with like the MMCs and the fans projects who are elevating like the masterpiece game and just bringing that quality and like for them to do the Decepticon Justice Division, like no one else is doing that, like
Yeah.
Like, I
Get
think
that
they're-
diversity that we really need. Not
that
another set.
DJD is gonna be great.
Yeah.
I saw a painted prototype of Tarn or like a
Tarn?
Tarn, yeah. I think there was a painted
Down
prototype
there?
on
I
the
think
internet.
that was-
No, not here. On
No,
the
that was
internet.
I believe that was a render.
It was a
But
full render.
Yeah.
Like, either way, that Tarn looks amazing. I can't believe that it's gonna look that good. And then you got the rest of them. We got Syndicus, who's a freaking great figure.
Soon. Should be soon, no?
Kaon's soon. And then they have the other one with the hole in his chest.
Helix?
Helix, I think
Right?
is his name. Yeah, that one's protoed, I think. That one looks really good.
I think they're going in the right direction. They're doing the stuff that no one else is doing, and I think that's going to be, at least for MMC, I think that's what's going to set them apart going forward. Is their ability to tap into that market that no one else is willing to
And
touch.
you know what? That's what Fans Project started out doing obscure characters that people want, right? MMC is doing it with these DJD, and they did the R.O.C, which wasn't going to be released by anybody until Hasbro decided, hey, let's do
Yeah,
R.O.C.
but that's totally different.
And then, but they did all the fembots that nobody's ever released, and that's popular. I think that's hugely popular.
And the posability on them, like when you see like the poses you can put them in, like for articulation, they raised the game on the articulation as well.
Oh, I've seen the poses you can do.
Yeah,
If you follow my IG, I have a ton of pictures of that MMC Azalea and Salvia and the Alita 1 figure. Ton of pictures, and they can do incredible things.
Like I did a small little local show in Vancouver, and I was lucky enough to get an early prototype of Hexatron to show off at that little show I did there.
Mm-hmm.
And so like MMC's been supporting me and my little endeavors from like years ago, so that's one of the reasons why we work together now.
I'm telling you, MMC should cut me a check for how many people I've convinced to buy
Yeah,
some
right.
of these figures
Well,
with my photos. But because I love fully, unbelievably articulated figures. You know, if you have wrist swivels, you have ankle tilts, and you have thigh swivels, and you have bicep swivels, and you have great hips. That's a big deal to a lot of people.
and I'm gonna say right now, I might be a little biased, but I'm gonna say Sphinx is gonna win the battle for the Mirages between that and
I wish
Invisible.
Dust was here.
Yeah, you know what? I really like Sphinx, and when it first came out, it was like, I think I'm gonna just pick up Invisible. I don't really want to wait, and I picked up Invisible, and I think he's a pretty good figure. You know, he's not bad, but like as time progressed, that Sphinx pictures, the final pictures of it, it really pushed me over the edge.
And being able to see it live here today as well.
It is.
Yeah.
It's in the case.
Yeah, the rubber wheels, the die cast, and the fact that it comes with the parachute from like episode 3. Like,
Yeah.
like it's those little things that just to me pushed it over the edge. Like I had them both in my hand, and like Invisible, I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then I heard about Sphinx, I'm like, I'm waiting. Then I got my hands on the first prototype, and I'm like, okay. Then I got the first test shot was the die cast. I'm like, okay. And then I had the final version basically in my hand. I'm like, oh damn you, now I'm all in.
Yeah, and the paint looks unbelievable. The colors, I think it pops more than Invisible does.
And the box, like how it like throws back to like the Japanese, like it's just like for me, it just dials into G1. And like it brings back my childhood, and which is really impressive to me because as a kid I hated Mirage as a toy, and it actually made me like a toy I hate. Like I actually went and bought the G1 version just so I could compare it to it. And I'm like, yeah, I still hate this piece of shit, but because of you, it made me buy a G1 version just so I could compare them. Just because usually I'm always about the G1, but in this case, I gotta say they got.
RV_Dent again. We lost some of the interview footage about halfway through, so that's why there's kind of a break off and it cuts off. But we're just going to join back in and get back into it and finish this interview out. Thanks again for listening.
So I'm gonna ask you a question because we have this debate in our group all the time. Are you a toy accurate guy or are you a tune accurate guy?
I am a wallet accurate guy.
I think we all can agree on that.
Basically, I don't care if it's like 100%. Like if it's cartoon accurate, I just like if it's a good toy, I will buy it. The only thing I don't buy is pretty much the Michael Bay stuff.
Okay.
Like I appreciate Michael Bay bringing light to the franchise, but those aren't my Transformers.
Good. So, one more question related to that. I give you $150 right now. Will you buy Toy World Astro Train? Toy World Astro Train or
DX9.
DX9 Chigurh?
Oh, DX9.
Oh. Ooh. That's not the right answer.
I'm sorry. Since DX9's come out of the gate, their quality and everything, I'm a big fan. In my world, DX9 can't do anything wrong. Like they pretty much have like a permanent spot in my wallet right now.
Nice.
So like everything DX9 does is like gold to me. Like I've been ordering everything. And then Iron Factory, like some of the stuff coming up from them is just insane as well. It's just like, see, I would love to rep for them so that I could get more insight into them. but I think I might have enough. But no, for me, I've played with the Toy World version, but I have to go DX9.
Okay. All right. So you guys got anything else?
There's one thing I wanted to ask about Corbett. You kept bringing up gimmick. What do you mean by gimmick so much? It's like
basically, as each toy is like when it goes up for pre-orders, like you'll see like a prototype version and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or when each pre-order goes up, like each toy will generally have like something that hasn't been revealed to the public, and then at that point, when the pre-order goes up, you'll now see what they consider the cool feature that no one knew about. And this is supposed to be like where people are like already thinking, yes, I gotta have that. Then you see this pre-order and they'll be like, oh shit, no they didn't.
Okay.
And then it'll be like, take my money.
So it's not something silly like say with the Hasbro Legend Bombshell, you know, it's like, hey, his gimmick is he's also a gun.
No,
something,
no.
nothing silly like that.
No, nothing silly. All their things are actually going to be making sense. It's not like a gimmick for the sake of a gimmick. It's more like when you see it, like everything they do, when you see it, you'll understand that
So
it's
something
like,
kind of help with the nostalgia.
yeah.
Kind of takes that part of the brand. It's like, oh, I remember that.
And or it'll be something where, yes, that makes sense. Like it might be like a weapon or an alt mode or something like that. You know, it might be just, you know, it'll be something cool that when you see it, you'll be like, shit, that makes sense. Or it might be something as simple as a character who comes with multiple heads. Because he could be multiple characters, you know, just things like that.
Okay. I think that was a little hint, guys.
I wonder what that means.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can honestly say that I'm excited about the stuff they're doing. I'm excited to keep working with Voodoo. MMC, love it. I think over the next few years we're going to see a paradigm shift in how people do third party. And I think we're going to see, like, right now we have like 50 different companies on Big Bad Toy Store. I personally think we're probably going to be down to about 20 in the next few years, just because I don't think a lot of them are going to be able to maintain the quality and the standards that like MMC and FP are now bringing to the and then Maki are bringing to the table. I just don't think a lot of the little guys have the ability to do it or be able to invest the money that's required to make these toys.
Yeah. Hopefully we get the diversity in characters too, and we don't have these Dinobot wars and Devastator wars and just where you have three or four companies coming out with the same characters all at the same time. Hopefully we can just get a spot that start filling those gaps and give us stuff we've never gotten.
Well, yeah, well, I was joking around with MMC saying, hey, since you guys haven't done one, why don't you do a Devastator? The look of pure fuck you I got from one was not even remotely funny. I was pretty sure they were going to cut a bitch. Like, they're like, no, we're not doing that. We got enough things that we're competing with. We're not doing that. But then, well, maybe in a few years. But at least they want to get out of the war. They're trying to decrease the war themselves.
So
That's good to hear.
I guess I'll just ask one more question. Since you have the inside ear for third party, any third party Omega Supremes, Skylynxes?
There was one that I've heard about a while ago, but due to cost, they never went forward. But now that you've had like Utopia and stuff like that, which have broken like the price barrier, it wouldn't surprise me. Like we've seen like that one Omega Supreme that
Planet X.
Planet X.
I own that one.
And that was not a bad thing, but it was like that was a whole lot of toy.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're also getting now, where everyone wanted smaller because of their collections. I think that market for the super huge toys are now finally starting to come out. But then it's going to get to the point where, are we going to have someone being like crazy enough to try doing Fortress Max unless we have like a 4-foot third-party Transformer that's going to cost you like $2,000, and people just be like, oh, and now here's the Brave Max, limited edition for $5,000. So like, but that could be the way we're going. Like if you said to me 3 years ago that we would have something like Utopia, I would be like, bitch, you crazy. That's not gonna happen. Yeah. And now Utopia's here, I'm just like, shit, now we're only gonna get bigger.
Yep.
Like for me, I like small.
I mean that giant Scorponok, right?
No, the Pandamus.
That beautiful Pandamus figure. Like that's probably the biggest third party figure that's out.
It
is
by mass, absolutely.
By mass, yeah, because it's just huge.
I think it's the most expensive and the biggest one to come out, but it's also just a beautiful piece.
As a single piece, because obviously they're making big, huge combiners now. But as a single piece, yeah, that thing is it's beautiful.
And I like the tail. It looks like a certain fraction logo.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say who, but I like the tail was a nice little add-on.
Yeah, nice color to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it? Is it purple? Right? It was some kind of
It's
purplish,
purplish.
purplish symbol type of thing. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I think it might bring a few fans.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think he looks great. I mean, some of these figures that are coming out, it's getting expensive, but you just gotta have some of them.
And I gotta ask one question of you guys, just because this is usually what starts the war among my friends is, and there is only one correct answer, so no pressure. Out of the 3 Predakings that came out, who was your favorite?
That's easy.
Oh, Unique Toys, of course.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, definitely MMC. There was no.
Gorgeous.
There's no. You know what? I started the TFC and their first
Did you
figure.
really?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Their first figure was
Sorry. Razor Claw?
Leo Ducks. Razor Claw, right? And I thought it was so bad, and I tried to make it work because I loved Hercules. I loved the Superion, and I was like, I just want this to work. TFC, come on! I want everybody to be the same size. And then it was about. They came out at the same time, the 2 Razor Claws, and I was like, you know what? Let me just try the MMC Razor Claw. It was fucking great. I was like, sell this, buy all these. And I had to buy the 2 feet, the 2 legs, and I was like, I'm in for MMC.
Right.
It was great.
All right, then we can all be friends, because I have met a few people who actually have gone the dark direction and did not like the MMC version.
They got problems.
And their biggest problem was the wings they thought the wings should be twice as big in combined mode, but the wings, it is what it is. Like, the rest of the figure works. Like, if they had giant wings like that, the bird mode would have looked ridiculously out of proportion.
Dude, yeah, because, I mean, he's in my DTOF. I have to center him in my DTOF, and the wings have to be angled like 45 degrees for him to fit into the DTOF, so they fit right in the 2 corners. If any bigger, I don't know how you're going to display it.
Like he would have had like 1 foot wingspan.
Yeah,
so it's like, I think that's a stupid reason to hate on such a beautiful toy, is over the wings.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, that figure's great. So I think you chose well by who you're working for. I think you chose that company is great.
Yeah, and I'm currently looking for 2 more sets so that I can have it in combined mode, robot mode, and animal mode. Just because I'm stupid like that, and I will actually go all in on. I have a few figures I've done that.
Did you get your Nero?
I got mine here. I'm actually contemplating getting a second.
Oh God.
It is pretty. I do want it, but man.
It's so much easier to swallow when you're paying
$100
a couple months.
Every couple months.
And you drop that $500, $550.
Oh, it's like Hercules.
One time.
Every installment was the exchange rate for us in Canada. It was like $110 for every installment of Hercules, and then you had to get the Rage of Hercules. Like, all in, that was almost an $800 toy for me.
Yes. Yep.
But I bought it.
I bought it.
We all did.
And then the Maki Toys one was like, well, I have to have both so I could see. Okay, I like the size of one, but I like the articulation of others. I'm like, God damn it! And now you got Gravity Builders. Like,
yeah, that one. I was just playing with that one, and I think I might go in on that one to replace Hercules. Hercules maybe retired.
You're not gonna be able to sell it.
$100 will buy it.
It's not even
right
worth
now.
selling.
Let me tell you, that money, that $600 I spent was 4 years ago.
Yeah,
I don't think
saying-
that money's spent and gone. If I was keeping it, I wouldn't never get that money back anyway.
that's a weekend of beer.
Yeah,
At least in Canada.
So I figure I cut it as a loss. Maybe I'll donate it to something. Start
Maybe a giveaway or something.
Donate it to kids who can't afford third party.
Yeah.
Start your own charity.
No, you know what? I'll go on to TF Addicts and say, hey, you fucks that always complain about third party because you can't afford it. Here, I'll donate one to you. I'll donate one piece to a person.
Each of you.
Yeah, and that way you can't have a Hercules. You just each have to play with each other.
Oh, why you gotta go TF Addicts? There's only 2 things that ever happened there. People fighting about third party on what's better, G1 or Michael Bay.
Exactly.
That's the only reason that even exists, is for those 2 conversations to be rehashed in 100 different ways.
And for me to troll them.
And then I'm just waiting for someone to try jumping back into making like the Michael Bay style third party again.
Oh God, please
Could-
don't.
could we solve all that
Don't
work?
don't encourage that. I would quit third party if somebody did that.
Hey, I'll rep for him.
Oh my God.
I just say I'd rep well for him, but it'd be more like run. I'd be like,
No, you don't want to do that.
No, please.
I'd be like the Flair saying, detour, go around. But yeah, thanks guys for taking the time to talk to me.
No, Jay, thank you very much.
and
I
for letting
really,
me promote
really
these guys.
appreciate
Thank
your time. I'm glad we were able to help you out with this, and I really appreciate the time you spent talking about it and empowering us and knowledge and giving us the knowledge that we need.
And going forward, like any shows, if we can meet up earlier, I will try to give you guys an exclusive for the next show. So if you're at TFCon Toronto, we will be there, and there will be an exclusive from Corbett for sure.
Okay.
It'll be their first exclusive at a show, so maybe you guys can get first peek at that.
Nice.
And we'll be at Chicago. There will be no exclusive for BotCon. They don't want to show anything
Oh,
for BotCon.
darn. Wait, you're saying the third party's not going to be at BotCon?
I know. There's just no
Insane.
love. Like this year at BotCon, I'll just be there as me, not promoting anyone, just me as a drunken fool.
That was also nice.
But yeah, I'd love to do another one of these with you guys in the future.
Awesome.
Yeah,
man.
for
really
sure.
appreciate it.
And maybe I can even get a sneak peek from MMC if I grease the wheels enough.
Yeah, maybe. Yes.
Wonderful,
We maybe Toronto, maybe Chicago might be
Yeah.
able to do something. All right.
That was it, something.
Well, again, thank you, Jay. We appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
All right.